Yo, what is up, guys? Draco Sean here, back with another video. Firstly, hope everyone's had a good Christmas, spend time with the fam. But yeah, let's get straight into this chapter because the chapter has been released, on a very odd day because nobody comes on Fridays, but we're here now. So this is 1036. Bushido is the way of death. So that's the name of the chapter. Interesting. So I think this chapter to me is more of a recap chapter, if I had to sum it up. I would say it's definitely better than the other chapters, because those two were the last two chapters were just action based. This is just more of a recap chapter. This is more of an information chapter. And this is where I think One Piece kind of shines. So this is all right chapter, I think. I would say it's around a 7 or 8. Like, nothing spectacular happened. I would say it's a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty solid chapter. But yeah, so we start off with King and Zoro. So confirmed, Zoro has beaten King, just like I said. I mean, I think a lot of people thought that, but some people weren't sure that Zoro has beaten King. Well, now it's confirmed, he's beaten King. We get another flashback for King, actually. Again, I like this. I love that we get these flashbacks. I just wish that Oda did not rush these fights, because he clearly rushed Zoro versus King. And I think this little flashback with King and Kaido could have been shown during the fight with King and Zoro, because it would have added more meaning to the fight. Because there's clearly, like, what Oda's trying to portray here is that there's a clear dynamic between Kaido and King and Luffy and Zoro. They're both very similar. They have a very similar relationship. King trusts Kaido, Zoro trusts Luffy. And it's also funny because in this chapter, King also says, "I will never lose." And that's the exact same quote Zoro said after Mihawk just loaded this man. Zoro said, "I will never lose again." And King makes the exact same comment and he loses. Again, I think this would have been great if this was shown during the fight. Like, this is what happens when you rush things. And Oda, what he's doing, he's just thrown this in there, which is cool, but this could have been shown during the fight, because then it would have added more of a meaning between King and Zoro, having this good character dynamic maybe. So I think to sum it up, it's a cool thing they've shown this, but I wish this was shown during the fight. However, the biggest thing from this flashback to me is the mention of Joy Boy. Once again, Joy Boy has been mentioned. And it's funny that King knows about Joy Boy. So this is gonna kind of imply that Lunarians, I think what's kind of implying here is that the Lunarians worship Joy Boy. I think they respect the name Joy Boy. They know more about Joy Boy than most other people would. And Kaido, again, he knows about Joy Boy as well, which I'm assuming that Kaido got this information about Joy Boy from Rocks, which I think hopefully we will get in a Rocks flashback, hopefully. But it's cool, again, they're talking about Joy Boy, because again, King thinks Kaido is Joy Boy. But then when Kaido knocked down Luffy out of Onigashima, and he said, "You couldn't be Joy Boy either." So I wonder if that's implying that Kaido at this stage, he doesn't think he's Joy Boy. So I think what's kind of going on here is that Kaido doesn't think he's Joy Boy at this stage in his life. I think he's given up on that hope that he thinks he's Joy Boy. And I think maybe like Shanks, he's looking for someone who is maybe Joy Boy. So again, this whole thing about Joy Boy is very interesting. So that hopefully we'll find. I mean, we're gonna get that. We're definitely gonna get that in the future. So that's cool. So that was cool. Also, Zoro says, "I'll become the king of hell." So I do wonder if Zoro's gonna get like a Rayleigh kind of title, because we know Rayleigh is called the Dark King. So Zoro's now maybe his new epithet instead of Pirate Hunter, which is kind of stupid at this point because he's a freaking pirate. I would say, in fact, Zoro is probably the most pirate person on the Straw Hat crew. And yeah, so hopefully he's going to be called the king of... So he's going to probably be called Hell King Zoro maybe, or Demon King Zoro, I don't know, something like that. Which is a cool title, I think. So yeah, that was cool. We go back to CP0. They've been informed that King has been beaten, and everyone now has, all the officers and commanders, they've all been beaten. But they mention pretty much that it means nothing because you've still got Kaido and you've still got Big Mom, and they're still both fine. I'm gonna talk about Kaido and Big Mom at the end of this chapter, I think. But because obviously we see Kaido in this chapter as well, fighting Luffy. So we'll get to that. But yeah, so we just get more information about that. So yeah, that's fine. We get again this like couple pages on the recap of what's happening around Onigashima on the certain stages and on the levels from 5 to 1 and so on. So we get all that revealed. That's fine. We go to Yamato, and she runs into another one of the numbers. This is number 6, Roki. He's guarding the gate to the armory, and Yamato uses Fuga to get rid of Roki, which I do wonder why Fuga is obeying Yamato's commands. So that's interesting. And again, we still need to get this thing explained about Fuga, because Fuga has these like I don't know what his legs are, horse's legs. Like I don't know what's going on with that. So it's kind of implied that maybe Fuga has eaten a smile devil fruit, maybe. Possibly, because that's the only thing that would make a lot of sense. But yeah, so again, Yamato, she's gonna do something hopefully with the weapons and the armory and see what happens. So that's fine. Then we get to Usopp, which I think this is another good moment in the chapter. I think this is a decent moment. I think nothing too spectacular, but it's a pretty solid moment for Usopp. Because we know about Usopp's character. Usopp, to me, is someone, he has to grow in his character. And this is a good character moment for Usopp, I think. Like, for me, Usopp needs more character moments than action moments, in my opinion. So I think this is okay. And it's okay if Usopp does not get much action in Wano. It's fine. Because when we go to Elbaf, Oda is definitely going to focus the hell out of Usopp. So I think if you're an Usopp fan, don't worry about it. I'm sure Usopp will shine in Elbaf, but right now it's fine. It's fine he's on the sidelines, because again, One Piece has too many characters anyway. You can't give them all attention. So that's fine. But he gives a speech to Kinemon and Kiku about like you should always cling on to life, and even if you look stupid by running away, as long as you're alive, you're fine. So that's the most important thing. But then we get Izo out of nowhere, just comes in and just saves Usopp, or helps Usopp out at least. And I think it's actually really cool that Izo and Usopp are having a little interaction, because if you don't know, that Izo is the sniper of the Whitebeard pirates. In fact, I think he's probably the only one that uses guns, I think, because most of them use swords and other things. So he's like the only proper marksman of the Whitebeard pirates. And again, that's the title, like Usopp, where Usopp is the sniper of the Straw Hat pirates. So it's kind of cool that these two are meeting, I think. It's funny that Usopp doesn't know who Izo is actually. But yeah, Izo meets up with Kiku, and yeah, they're gonna do that. Izo's just gonna help them out, obviously. And it's also funny that Izo actually knows who Usopp is, because he refers to him as God Usopp. As you know, that's the title from Dressrosa. So that was kind of cool. Again, I wonder where Marco is, because Marco was with Izo, so I'm wondering where Marco is, because what is Marco going to be doing then? I mean, the only thing that would maybe make sense is maybe Marco is going to take on CP0, maybe? I mean, that would make the most sense, I think, because I think Marco... Because Marco, I mean, he could go to the rooftop and help Luffy, but I don't know, because CP0, I mean, we'll get to CP0 because we're gonna talk about it in the next part actually, but Marco, I think fighting CP0 makes a lot of sense, so we'll see. Raizo Fukurokuju, listen, I couldn't care less about that fight. I'll be honest. I don't think anyone cares about that fight. It's there for fan service. I mean, again, if Fukurokuju and Raizo were shown more in the Oden flashback, this fight would have had a bit more meaning to it. Like, I guess it was foreshadowed that these two were gonna fight, because Raizo was referred to as Fukurokuju's rival, but it doesn't mean anything. This fight is so irrelevant at this point. It's just, bro, like, no one cares. We see Orochi and Komurasaki. I don't know what Komurasaki is trying to do at this point. Like, is Komurasaki just waiting for Denjiro to show up? Because we haven't seen Denjiro in a while, and I'm wondering if maybe she's waiting for him to show up, or because like Komurasaki is playing along with Orochi, obviously, and obviously Komurasaki wants to kill Orochi. So we'll see where that goes, but so far I'm interested to see what she's gonna do. Then we go to the stuff with Apu and Drake and all the CP0 stuff. So we then find out that CP0 have beaten, well, okay, they've beaten Drake, and they beat one of the other numbers, number 3, Zanki. So now there's only 2 numbers remaining. The number 1, Inbi, who's with Apu currently, and they're both running away together, and Fuga, who's with Yamato. So so Drake is down. So CP0 are clearly no joke. I mean, this was a good way to build them up a bit more, because again, these are the strongest people in the world government, basically. I mean, excluding Marines, they're pretty much the best of the best. And again, they said that these guys are legit. So I think them beating Drake is pretty insane, actually. And Apu just runs away. So I wonder if they're gonna try and kill him, maybe, because he did say he's gonna try and report this to Morgan's, and obviously we know big news Morgan's ain't having. He's gonna be like, yeah, right, we're putting that on the newspaper now with CP0, and obviously CP0 don't want that. So CP0 I think are probably gonna try and get Apu, maybe, but we'll see. And then they're talking about they're still after Nico Robin. So that's that's interesting still. So I do wonder if they're actually going to capture Nico Robin. Again, I don't think so, but we'll see. So yeah, we get more CP0. Again, I think this was a good chapter to build them up by beating Drake and Apu running. I mean, they didn't beat Apu, but Apu was running away. So I mean, it is what it is. So then we get to the final part of the chapter, Luffy and Kaido. Again, we haven't seen this in a while. I guess it's good to see it. They're both trading blows with each other. Again, I'm just gonna say this right now, and I will say this right now. If Luffy beats Kaido in a 1v1, like right now, this arc has been downgraded a lot. It really has. It's gone down a couple levels, because it makes no sense in 7 Hells that Luffy can beat Kaido. It doesn't make any sense. And even if this is a weakened Kaido, right? Even if, yeah, I get that this is Kaido who's been fighting pretty much every single person you can think of in this entire arc, but Luffy shouldn't even be close to Kaido's level. I mean, we saw in Act 1, Luffy couldn't even do anything to Kaido. I mean, he was throwing his best attacks at Kaido, and Kaido was still getting up. And he one-shot Luffy. He sent this man packing. And again, that was Kaido in his base form. This is Kaido in a hybrid form. And the problem I have with this chapter is, it's kind of implying that they're equally matched, which I just don't understand that. They should not be equally matched. Kaido should be beating Luffy. I don't care how good Luffy has gotten. It makes no sense in any hell for Luffy to beat Kaido. And if that happens, this arc has been downgraded. Again, if Kaido gets beaten and it's a team effort with Luffy getting help from some other people, then I wouldn't be too mad about it, because that would make a bit more sense. Like, I was saying that Luffy and Kid should team up to take on Kaido, because Kid also wants to take on Kaido, but Kid right now is fighting Big Mom. And that's another thing we have to talk about, Big Mom versus Kid and Law. I'm worried, because this arc to me is lacking tension, it's lacking depth, it's lacking consequence. And Luffy and Kaido are trading blows, and I don't know if Big Mom, I mean, the fact that Big Mom had to use one year of her lifespan just to take on Kid and Law is pretty insane. So I'm getting worried that Big Mom is also going to get taken down in this arc. And that's what they're kind of implying, that both of them are going to get taken down in this arc. I don't think Big Mom will. I think Big Mom has to go to Elbaf. It makes so much sense for her character for her to go to Elbaf. And honestly, I want to get out of Wano, honestly, because I'm not going to sit here and say I've enjoyed this arc. This arc to me has been, I might make a video on this, but there's too many disappointing things about this arc. But anyway, Kaido versus Luffy, we'll see where that goes. I'm just not feeling it. I just don't like the fact that Kaido and Luffy are equally matched. I don't like that, because that kind of annoys me, because we've just seen what Kaido did to Luffy in Act 1, and after reading that chapter 915 when Kaido one-shot Luffy, I was thinking, there is no way in hell Luffy can beat Kaido in a 1v1. Like, Luffy's gonna need some sort of help to beat this man. This man is built different. Kaido is built different. I like that we're getting more of like Kaido's like, it's kind of like a Katakuri. It's like the Katakuri fight, but that's what I'm getting out of this. But again, the problem with that also is that because Kaido is a villain at the end of the day, and again, I want Kaido to have a human side to him as well. I like that because I'm a Kaido fan. I want Kaido to have a human side to him, but I want him to be a good villain as well. So, and I've been saying this, I want Kaido to kill someone in this arc. I think that would elevate him beyond like people like maybe Doflamingo or Crocodile, who are two of One Piece's best villains by far. So I want Kaido to kill someone by the end of this arc. I do want that because it's good for the story. But anyway, yeah, that's the chapter. Again, I've given it a 7 out of 10. Pretty solid. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm actually working on doing my top 30 video actually by this week. But yeah, this is Draco Sean. Peace out. Have a good day.